How much Bitcoin can you buy with an average salary? So the average salary of around 60 grand a year and approximately a 4% raise per year. And then spending 80% of your income, investing 20% of it. Bitcoin's price is growing 30% a year. I'll show you how much Bitcoin stack you can accumulate, how many Satoshis that's worth, and then how much that Bitcoin is worth in US dollars. And so that we can see 2025 to 2035, you're slowly earning more, but your stack is growing less and less as Bitcoin's price runs away from you. But you do end up with a $756,000 net worth in Bitcoin, which is pretty cool in a 10-year period. And this is only putting around 20% of your income away in Bitcoin. Imagine if you could allocate more. If we want to look for the next 10 years, we've got your stack barely grows the next 10 years. So from 2036 to 2045, you only get about 4 million Satoshis, which is 0.04 Bitcoin. And that's with you getting a consistent raise. So you're earning more and more, but you're getting less and less, but you do end up with over $11 million worth of Bitcoin. And this is in literally 20 period. Bitcoin's price nearly cracks 20. Say this could be way too bullish, but there's others that say it's way too bearish. With the supply squeeze that's coming, we actually can't even comprehend the numbers that we could see. So Bitcoin could quite easily do a $21 million Bitcoin in 20 years. So it's really hard to project these things, but a 30% growth rate to me is conservative. We've seen 50 or 60% a year, and even if that slows down to 30, yeah, these numbers are very possible. Moving on to the next slide. I wanted to do a little calculation of who can get what, and I went off categories of types of people. So we've got millionaires. If all the millionaires decided, you know what, let's all just buy one today, they'd only be able to get 0.275 Bitcoin per millionaire. So it's really not much. If you can try and get to that stack, 0.275, then you will be basically richer than a millionaire in my eyes, or in everyone's eyes, we'll see. Billionaires, there's only 3,442 billionaires, and so they can still get 4,636 Bitcoin per billionaire. And this is with the assumption that 15.96 million Bitcoin were available, which it's not. So there's 19.96 million Bitcoin in existence right now. I'd say 4 million of that is lost, including Satoshi Nakamoto's $1 million stack. And then I've just divided that by these categories of people. So let's just assume they were fighting over 15.96 million Bitcoin. Don't know why I've done a dollar sign. Then this is how much they would get. And then we can see with 8 billion people, which is the population, people can only get around 200,000 Bitcoin each. A house, if repriced in Bitcoin, is only worth 665,000 Satoshis. Absolutely nuts. So we've seen Bitcoin go from like over 600 Bitcoin back in 2016 to like 45 Bitcoin, and it's now worth only 4 Bitcoin. And that trend's just going to continue all the way down to less than 0.01 of a Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. Now, if we look here, there's only around 2.5 million left on exchanges and markets floating around to be available to actually purchase. So it's not this huge figure, 15 point whatever million. It's really, people are all just competing for 2.5 million available right now. And yes, supply will slowly increase in the market, but there's only going to be 1 million Bitcoins released over the next 100 years. So it's really not going to change the supply much because ETFs, Michael Saylor, governments, countries, individuals are eating up more than the supply increase. And so we can sort of project these numbers. So we see if all the millionaires are fighting over 2.5 million Bitcoin today, they can only get around 4 million Satoshis each. Billionaires, they can still get 726 Bitcoin because they're billionaires, but that is within the assumption that all billionaires try and get one right now. And also, as they would be buying the Bitcoins, it wouldn't be able to all be bought at once. They would be sending its price up. So they wouldn't actually be able to get it at these prices. And so that number would actually just go down over time. And then 8 billion people, if 8 billion people wanted to adopt Bitcoin right now and buy Bitcoin, and it was to be spread evenly and everyone got an even amount without a price change, 31,250 Satoshis, which is only worth around 34 US dollars today. So basically, guys, you should be buying Bitcoin today and the next 10 years, it's going to be a lot easier to get Bitcoin than it will be the following 10 years. And that's already been evident in the last 10 years. And so it's just getting more and more and more expensive. It's pricing out the average person, but it's also pricing out the millionaires, and eventually it's going to price out the billionaires. The billionaires won't just have 20 million lying around in cash to buy Bitcoin, or when Bitcoin eventually reaches 50 million, they're not going to have 50 million laying around in cash. And if they do, it's good for us. They're going to try and buy. And how are they going to get it off us? By sending the price further and further and further up until we're happy to exchange. And just last of all, please sign up with Caleb and Brown, the crypto/Bitcoin brokerage. They're really, really good. They will assign a one-on-one broker to you. And they said if anyone uses the code SatsVenture, they're going to fast track them. So they're going to make them a priority. And so your account setup will be fast tracked. The service will be fast tracked. You can literally contact them 24/7, buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin, trade other cryptos if you need. And yeah, they're just a really cool service because it's not just an exchange, they're a brokerage. So sign up with SatsVenture code, help me out and help yourself out. Get with these guys. It's good for beginners that have never dealt with Bitcoin or crypto before. These guys will be on the phone and helping you. So awesome service. And leave comment, like, anything to help the channel. Appreciate it, guys. And tune in for the next video. Bye.